are running late.
Okay, that's fine. They can join. I'll add. Okay, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are across the globe. Welcome to an extra special show that I put on tonight because I
You lost?
this young man. I wanted to capture Ketama, and we are going to. I'm trying to get rid of this so we can get back on screen. Oh, what is happening here? There we go. So yes, welcome to On the Sofa with Esther, and we are going to be talking to Sisay Ketama about his latest book. And his latest book is, he's the author of The Heart of a True Hero, a book that captivates as well as inspires the younger generation to embrace emotional intelligence and everyday heroism. And he's also asked some of his team to join him on the show. So we're going to be talking about all these wonderful things, which I feel are very pertinent. And for myself, as an energy healer and one that's about authenticity and individuals understanding their own personal journey and having a sense of their own personal awareness, this is incredibly important. So welcome, Sisay.
Thank you so much, Esther, for having me here today. Let me introduce myself. My name is Sisay Ketama. I am an accountant professionally, but my true passion is like empowering the younger generations and guide them toward this, the life full of purpose and emotional intelligence and positive value in this world. So throughout this book, The Heart of the True Hero.
Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And I'm going to read a bit more about, the body of work that you've just produced. But I just want to introduce everyone else onto the platform. So we have Betty. Betty, hello.
Hello. Hi. Good evening.
Good evening, my dear. And if you can just introduce yourself, because Sisay said he wanted his team to be part of this interview. So welcome. So just tell us a little bit about who is Betty as part of this process.
Okay. Betty is a mother of three, raised three beautiful children, a phase woman, and also we pioneered a community event called Faris Fest. By profession, I'm a teacher, a religious studies teacher, and Sisay has been added, as said, to our program Faris First, working with the next generation, as he rightly said, so empowering them, educating them about, giving them the life skills. So we collaborate on that level.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. And also we have, is it Silam? Have I pronounced your name right? Who's joined us as well?
Yeah, it's Salam. You pronounced well.
Salam, apologies. Salam. And so Salam, yes, there's a bit of a lag here, so I do apologize if we're crossing. So Salam, just tell us what's been your part of this whole project.
It's my name is Salam. I've got two children as well. As a professional, I'm an accountant. We were just trying to we were helping him to encourage Sisay while he was writing the book. We were engaged with the story. We were helping him throughout as a team. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant, brilliant. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to just read a little bit more about what the book is about, and then we can go into some of the questioning around why you decided to write a book about this. Why was it so important for you to write a book about this? So, The Heart of a True Hero, as we say, book captivates as it inspires younger generation to embrace emotional intelligence and everyday heroism. In a time when success is often equated with grades and wealth, Sisay Ketama's book, The Heart of a True Hero, The School of Life, highlights the importance of emotional intelligence by helping young readers discover the strength that comes from understanding their emotions, building relationships, connecting with others, and living kindly. And there are so many wonderful sort of quotes that I can pull out from your press release, because what I get a sense to say is this passion and this desire to really touch young people's lives. Now, where does that come from, Sisay? Where does that passion come from?
Excellent. Yeah. I've been working with 12 kids for the last 2 years and teaching emotional intelligence. And that is a trial. And I can see there is a gap in this world. And the school, especially the school, doesn't give emotional intelligence as a subject, while it is very, very crucial and very important, for to the young generation. So I'm really also, believing in the untapped power of the young generation. They are very, very, very brilliant. To be honest with you, they are uniquely, growing up. But we need some direction. So that's it. And
Yes.
yeah, that is the main purpose. And we know that there is emotional intelligence out there, but when you think about intelligent is something you learn it, something you practice it. It doesn't come when you have the circular world intellectual intelligent. We need to practice, we need to work hard to be intelligent. So that means emotional intelligence by itself is we need to practice it, we need to learn it. Someone need to teach us, someone need to teach the younger generation also. That is the core point. Yeah.
And have you yourself, to say, been through your own process of the learning, the growth, the understanding, the evolvement? And what's your sort of backstory? I mean, were you inspired into this field? I mean, I know you're an accountant, and it's interesting. You're an accountant, so you're full of numbers. That's your world. And then on the other side, you're full of this wonderful, wonderful journey of inspiring, empowering. So, where for you, what has been your journey of your own emotional intelligence journey and experience?
Yeah, I mean, as a father of two, I have two
Okay.
kids. So as a father of two, that is real trial, a real experience. And I actually read a lot of books about emotional intelligence, and then that actually helped me to understand. And I see there is a gap, as I said, that need to be filled. Let's say, for example,
Absolutely.
consistency. When you say consistency, we know the words. Yeah, but we actually discuss about consistency. We never discuss. No one teach me consistency. When I arrived as a migrant, I arrived in this country back in 2002. But it's all the life journey. Where I am here now is because I'm consistent with so many things. So I have to pass that to the new generation also. If you are consistent, you get where you want to go. So I mean, this is all
Excellent.
that is one part of emotional intelligence. Yeah.
Excellent. And Betty, what has it been like for you to have worked with Sisay on this project?
Oh, it has been very, very inspirational to start with. Not a lot of people through culture or lack of it have developed the skills of reading and researching and going after others' work to see, as he said, to understand what it takes to become a wholesome person, to look at it holistically. So, like he gave an example, if you're trying to tell a child, be consistent in this, but we're not backing it up with research, or we're not backing it up with any story to teach them and expand to them that. So we also struggle, to see his work is amazing, but to harness that work and to apply that word with our children and to empower the next generation, that's where I come in. We give him the ready group of children that we mentor already, so that we are able to apply this and use them day to day. Of course, I had the privilege and opportunity and the honor to help alongside editing and inputting few of the words, such as assertiveness, which is very culturally, we're not aware of that. What is assertiveness? What does that mean to be assertive? So we both have to explore that, and we felt it is a very important word for us to equip our children. So that's where I come in.
Thank you, Betty. I would like to say thank you for Betty also on this instance, please. And,
thank you.
She actually helped me a lot, and she contributes a lot of words on the book, which I didn't know some of them before even. So we work together very, very hard, to be honest. And thank you, Betty, on this opportunity.
It's a pleasure.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Brilliant. And you've both mentioned the word culturally we don't understand. Now, is that culturally, in terms of when you talk about culturally, is that, how can I word it? Is that in this culture, or is it coming from your culture? When you say culturally, what do you mean by that, if you don't mind me asking?
I think I can jump on that. We mean as first generation migrant to the United Kingdom, to the Western world. We come originally from Ethiopia, and we have a set of cultures there, but they're not practiced here. And the culture here is very important to harness all the culture and to become a good society, citizen in the society. So, for example, if you tend to back in Ethiopia, growing up, we've always said, okay, yes to everything. Maybe that's what it is needed, to say yes without any boundary. We didn't know that we are able to establish boundary. So here, boundary, to respect your boundary, Sisay's boundary, and my boundary, and all others around us is very important. These are the skills that we were not really taught growing up, and coming into the United Kingdom, then we come with that openness, and we have no as such established boundary, because we don't even know that we needed to say, this is the stage, this is where I stop, and we're not going to cross over this because this is my boundary, this is as far as I'm allowed to go. So we're just bringing that into our children. So now, as a second generation, when we teach our children to say stop, this is the boundary, cannot pass, we are able to then support it by from the dictionary meaning. For example, a boundary is this. We have to really go to the very basic to understand the meaning of words, and then apply it to adhere to the society we live with.
Brilliant. But there's a couple of messages from those who are watching, if I may read them out. So there's one from Dylan Sangha. We love your book. There's a message from Femi, and you'll have to excuse me if I'm not pronouncing the names correctly. I'm doing my best. So there's a message from Femi Akinmoladen. Love the book. There's another message from C. Burns. The book is amazing. And there's someone called Michael Atake. He just says hi. So thank you all for listening and watching. And if you've got any questions that you'd like me to ask Sisay or Betty or even Selim, then do let me know. Do let me know. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to read out a little bit more from the press release that really grabbed me in terms of the work, the body of work that you're doing, Sisay. So you said, with success increasingly equated, as I said, to grades and wealth. And there is this whole thing of wealth. What is wealth? But it seems to be that the book that you've written, the book about emotional intelligence, that's where the real wealth lies, would you say? Because the real wealth, once you understand yourself, once you understand, like you said, assertiveness, confidence, even understanding how you respond to things, understanding how you perceive the world, and having an understanding of yourself, that is the gold mine. Understanding all of that first and foremost, isn't it?
Yes, of course. Yeah. I mean, when you interpret that simply, let's say, for example, you become a doctor or you become a professional football player or whatever success we call it in the circular world. If you don't have happiness, if you don't have, generosity, if you don't have kindness, that's all meaningless. You are a doctor. If you don't serve your society with kindness and with full responsibility, what's the point of being a doctor? What's the point to being like a football player if you're not kind enough for like for your audience, for your the people who are admiring you? What's your response to people? You need to be kind enough. You need to be like generous enough to serve other people. So the whole idea of this book is to balance what is success, the circular life, and to balance what is actually being kind, generous, and mindful person. Yeah, that is the whole point I'm trying to make. Yeah.
And can you share some success stories that you've had? I mean, you've shared about working with young people in a generic way, but can you maybe share one or two stories where you've seen someone's life, a young person's life, turn around for the better? Can you share, one or two of those experiences?
Yeah, I mean, the kids around us, they are very calm, they are very responsible. As I said, emotional intelligence is not an overnight term. It's not like happening within a year, but it's actually been. You see the fruit at the end. We teach them. They are responsible. They are preparing for GCSE. They are doing very well, and some of them maybe like become football player. We teach them like be consistent and be disciplined. If you don't have the discipline what you want to be, you cannot achieve it. If you want to be a football player, you need to ask what's the football to be a football player, what it takes, what it needs. So I expect some of them can be a football player. I expect some of them can be like good professionals, like a doctor, or they are still young. What I mean? But they are well disciplined, at this age. You cannot if you plant a tree as the backyard, you don't know, you don't notice it, how tall it is, how it grown. But one morning you will see it is big and strong.
Yeah, the seed is sown now. I think
Yeah.
the book is new and the seed is being sown. Now the book is released. We want it to go to a wider community, of course, but with our own children, it's just bringing that awareness of these are the characteristics that makes you wealthy and a very healthy person by far. When we look at forgiveness, when we look at mindfulness, these are almost holistically building that child, repentance rather than regretting, but repentance and do what? Again, change of action, So we are now pioneering we had a group in September, and as Sisay said, he has been working for 2 years, and he see the development in their character, in their discipline. He can see that. But we've also piloted this in September, and we're just gonna move forward in bringing awareness. These are the qualities that makes a person a wholesome person. Like he said, a doctor by himself or a footballer cannot be kind. He might have all the money, but he can be the rudest person, the most unkind, and might cause damage to himself, people around him as well. So bringing this awareness past money, there is a lot more to be developed, and I think there is a richness lies in that.
Brilliant, brilliant. And so are these special classes that people can sign up and come to, or how do you deliver your program? What's the process for that?
It is a very good question, interesting question. I was expecting. You know, we call it a school of life. Yeah. So we tested it. That is a school of life. It's still working because we work on the community, a small community to start with, but we are planning to make it big, and we need like a support. You know, maybe from the government, from school. We want this book reach to the school. Actually, every school. We wish every school, every gathering community, every like wherever we go, this is a discussion point. You know, and we hopefully we will establish that school of life and publicly, and one day everyone come and join and take the life lesson. That is our wish, and that is our next step. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. And now just a little bit more about the book itself. So in what sort of way is the book written? Because the book is actually where a child, I think you said from 8 and above, can take that book and read it and be inspired. So can you just share a little bit about how the book is written that engages a child in that way?
Excellent. Yeah. That is the struggling point. I started to define and the word and give few examples, but when I think about that, it can be like a little bit difficult to understand it. But to engage the kids, I put it like in a story ways. That is historical. Just a young boy called Leo, and Leo is actually been he used to be restless, and he doesn't give attention, whatever. But at the end, he actually been getting the life lesson from discipline, and he got it from his grandmom, and the grandmom advised him, and then that is a story. There's a story flowing from one chapter to another chapter, but each chapter have its own value, its own value, and that each chapter have its own small story, and that can be easily digested, easily been interested, and then at the end of each chapters, I try to give references like the books which readers can understand more about emotional intelligence by reading those reference books. So there are a lot of books out there which people can deepen their emotional intelligence. So that is the structure of the book. But I advise the readers not to read the whole book in one day, but one chapter a day. That's my advice. Yeah.
Okay, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. And Salam, have I pronounced your name correctly? What has it been like for you to have worked on this project? What have you personally got from this? Because when we work on projects, it could be whether it's doesn't matter what age group we're targeting, there's always something that we can learn and take away from the process. So for you, what is it that you have personally taken away from, excuse me, working on this incredible book, The Heart of the True Hero?
Yeah, because where we come from Ethiopia, most of us, like, we don't talk about emotion. We don't talk about what do you feel? When I grew up, for example, my parents, they never, oh, how do you feel today? What about this one? It's like everything is like, do that, don't do that things. So that one in this generation, it doesn't work like that. Especially me as a boys, I have two boys. So working with Sisay with this book, I learn a lot of things. I have to first understand my children. What did they ask me emotionally? And then to answer as well, I have to make sure that I answer a question, being give them a confidence and not like emotionally abusing them. So I learned those things from this book, especially talking as a group discussion, and then in the book, every chapter have a reflection as well. There is a question that we ask. Now we're trying to, as a family, trying to read, and then each chapter, and then we try to as well a reflection every chapter. So it's about, it's not everything about do and don't do it. It's about as well emotionally. Is we have to support our children. So I it's really helping me personally as well. Yeah, in that way.
Thanks.
Excellent, excellent. Well, I really wanted to have yourselves on the show now because, you know, we've got the festivities, Christmas coming up next week and the new year. And I just thought this would be a great book if anybody wanted to purchase it for their children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, because this whole thing of emotional intelligence is so important, especially with what's happening in the world. You know, there's quite an imbalance in the world at this moment in time, and social media has its place. I'm not going to disrespect it, but also what I'm seeing a lot on social media is there seems to be this antagonism towards humanity. You know, everybody's at each other, bring it down. And if you understand emotional intelligence, it's about taking accountability and responsibility for your actions and understanding what those actions do. And sometimes there's a sense of people just it doesn't matter, but it does, because we're all part of the circle of life.
Yeah,
We're all part, and for us as adults also to be open to growth and evolving within our own selves, because we have to be the change. And what the body of work that you guys have put together, it's not just for children, but it's also helping you evolve as adult human beings. And then someone will look up to yourselves and think, I'm seeing something that I would love to be myself. And so you're impacting not just your circle, but you impact your community, you impact your family, and then it starts to spill out. So, ladies and gentlemen, you can see where you can publish the book. You can see it on the banner that's scrolling at this moment in time. I would encourage you to purchase this book. And in winding down, I do have that logo as well for you, Sisay. I said I would get it up. So hold on a minute. Let me just show this. My PC has been a bit slow today. So in winding down, it's there's something I'm trying to pull up on screen. There we go. So in winding down, what would you like to say, for anybody who purchases this book? You know, your last and final words. What would you like to say?
Thank you. I would like to say, everybody to buy this book, and every school to have it, every library to have it, and every community gathering to have it, and to work together and to change, our world to the better. This book is not about like one time read and throw it away, but this book is actually building a community. And this book is, as we are as migrants to the UK, this book is especially for UK, which what we can contribute back to this country, and as a thank you. So that's what I would say.
Wow. There's a few more messages before we bow out for this evening. So, Michael Ateke, what inspired you to make the book, Sisay? I think we said that in the beginning of the interview, but yeah, Michael just wanted. What inspired you to make the book? If you can just answer that one, if you don't mind.
Yeah, as I said, and as a father and as a community gathering, I teach 12 kids for the last more than 2 years, and I see the fruits, and I see, it is useful, and it actually goes deeper, and and I see also there is a gap. Emotional intelligence is a gap in this world. No one is teaching us at school, as no one is giving us as emotional intelligence as a skill, because the word intelligent is getting skill. If you need to skill, you need to learn it, and someone need to learn it. Someone need to discuss about it. So that is very, important life skill, having emotional intelligence in this time. And I'm really passionate about the young generations. They are very powerful. They are very, full of energy, and I need to divert that energy, to the good, to the better. They have already full potential, and we need to divert that, energy to the better and the good. That's my passion.
Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you. Michael, I hope that's answered your question. Someone called Harry Ridd said, we love your book, Sisay. C. Burns, love the book. Brock Hayalu, amazing book. A very, very useful tool to unpack the emotional healing process for adults too. Thank you. Brilliant. And Femi says, love you, Sisay. So just thank you all for listening. Thank you all for your comments. Betty, thank you very much.
Thank
you. Winding down, what would you like to say, Betty, as we bow out?
Well, like Sisay said, I want to second that. We do educate ourselves, children. We give them a lot of tools. Like you said, the social media, is there. It has its use. We give them phones. We give them, nowadays, they don't read enough. Like Sisay said, we do not educate because we don't know. As ourselves, we don't know. Parents are a bit lost a little bit. So we really need to educate the young generation. What is to be forgiven? What is to forgive? What is to take responsibility? What does it mean to be accountability? So we really need them to be educated. And my passion is to see this book become animated, go on to programs on TV that children from young age can listen to the story and identify and learn with this. Also, we want it to go into schools. We want everyone to be educated. This is a tool. This is a skill. And like Sisay said, we have to give our children the opportunity at least to be familiar with the words and make an informed decision for themselves. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Raza, love the book. It is so inspiring and we can take a lot from it for our generation. On that note, I just want to say thank you to Sisay. I want to thank you to Sisay, Betty and Salam. Thank you so much for your input. Thank you so much for your inspiration. And ladies and gents, let's go out and buy the book. As I said, you can see where you can get it from. Scrolling along the platform, and it'd be nice to catch up with you at some point next year to see how you're doing with this, with the book, with the programs, with what you're looking to build out. And I'm sincerely wishing you all the very best.
Thank you.
Thank you, Esther. Thanks so much. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, guys. Bye.